Thank you so much, Asuna. Join me in another beautiful day again to bring you a matter them with a sub for inside Nigeria. Welcome to Updates with Precious. It's always a pleasure to bring you updates of things and what they happen for inside Nigeria. And today na Friday, so it's thank God it's Friday. And today will be Friday. Normal. I get my two gallant men there for inside the house to join me to dissect matter them with the hot for inside the city. But before I bring them on, make I just let you know some kind of hot things and what we go talk about. Sharply. In a twist of event, APC National Chairman Omar Ganduje don't resign. And people say, what is going on? APC, what are you people cooking? What's your they cook? What are you people cooking against 2027? Because it can only be 2027. Now make gonna make this move. What is going on? Ganduje's resignation rumor hits Abuja. Everybody they worried. Now, Wike say four conditions to be met before Tinubu reinstates Fubara. This na according to report. I will go look at the four conditions wey be say in they give Fubara after they don't get their peace meeting keeping. And talking about that peacekeeping meeting and where or reconciliation meeting, now the former spokesperson to Atiku Abubakar, Shegun Showomi, say President Bola made Tinubu too much. For them to feel reconcile Wike and Fubara saying too much. As a matter of fact, say Tinubu na school where people supposed to study. In fact, he says Tinubu should be studied. That's so he talks. Say because na school where they supposed to study, the man too much. While he be said that the young Peter Obi say, you know, fit handle the matter where they go on for in party. The fact say people know they agree for inside the party. But meanwhile, President Tinubu don't reconcile two people from another party because the two of them, like PDP then be, he don't reconcile. They say, okay, Tinubu, they supposed to open school for your head, Moko study. Okay, moving. Oh. By the way, yesterday we talked about over 2,000 acres of land. I think 2,082 acres of land. Where what about $3.6 billion? Where them say, not be me talk, say Wike give in son or allocate to in son. Well, we hear say Tinubu right now don't order a probe of Yinsun Wike over the $3.6 billion Abuja land grants to son Joaquin. Say so that one we could look into that matter too. I worked for almost 2 years without sitting down with the president or without a sit down with the president. Tinubu's former aide, Aliu Audu, now in they talk this one. Now almost everybody we don't work for Tinubu, they come back, they talk the same thing. Say all the while we didn't work, they know they even carry I see the man where they work for. What is going on here, Mbok? Waiting they happen. Hey, all right, moving on. Make we enter inside the era of tax reform bills. As Oga tax reform, I be Oga tax collector for inside our country. Don't talk. Say the thing is sweet and well. So as a matter of fact, say he feel very fulfilled and hopeful. Say Nigeria go better because of this tax reform bill. We be say them this tax where they be say them Oga president don't sign. That one according to the chairman of Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Nahim Tokan. And then 2.1 million be alleged missing funds for inside NNPC. Well, Port Harcourt as it gets to do with Port Harcourt refinery, NNPC don't they blame. Say not be also we don't tip any money. As a matter of fact, now our enemies, now saboteurs, now they cause all this problem. People where they saboteur us. All right. Kenya High Court declares Nnamdi Kanu as rendition to Nigeria illegal and unlawful. That's Kenya High Court declares Nnamdi Kanu's rendition to Nigeria illegal and unlawful. Say the one I use can carry him from Kenya and I carry him for our country, send them back to Nigeria. Say they very illegal and you know they could make it happen. But does it change anything? It doesn't change anything. The man has been doxxed for how many years right now in Nigeria? Well, talking about Speed Darlington and doing cho, I'm talking anyhow. Well, NAPTIP don't declare Speed Darlington wanted for rape and cyberbullying. This matter go long go. Makona no, say not be everything he see go open mouth saying a cruise in the catch. Anambra FCT elections. Ribado wants politicians, supporters against violence. Meanwhile, your water attack, military, Benue State University Teaching Hospital conducts medical outreach for victims. And EFCC don't kick. They said they don't agree. As your air bellow they seek to, they beg the court to make them permit and make it travel abroad. Say you know when. Yes, but we will not agree. Then go finally agree when they come back to that. Nigeria attack, Niger attack rather. No, Niger State attack, yeah. Niger State attack. Burutai seeks support for military. Months 17 soldiers waiting kill for inside that attack. Other matter they go they come up small as they go. But make a quickly bring my gallant man for inside the studio. Prince Francis Chilaka here with us, and then Mr. Ekenobi Day here with us. Mr. Ekenobi, thank you so much as you join us this evening. Thank you very, very much as you join us. You don't come back to Nigeria, so I hope say your network will good. And also people be they monitor you like monitoring spirits. They say once you well as you there as you there where you day, say your network be so good. I hope they go continue to day good. And then Prince Francis Chilaka also day with us. But we could start the conversation small while we wait for Prince Francis to join us inside the conversation. Now, he did the video what we won't play for you, and I just wish some of you play that video, but unfortunately, I know fit play that video, and because I know fit access them right now to play, and it is very painful. It's a coffee plan, but you see people they jubilate. As a fact, then they hail Ganduje saying a very loyal man for to resign because of whatever we don't know, as he don't resign right now. A bit of background to that conversation: say the tenure, the Ganduje tenure as APC chairman has been marked by controversy and challenges. He was elected as the APC national chairman, I think in August 2023, before the election, amidst internal party conflicts. Prior to his election, Mr. Ganduje served as the governor of Kano State, of course, from 2015 to 2023. Now, while Mr. Ganduje's resignation letter attributes to his decision to health concerns, because in talks because of health, sources familiar with the matter suggest anybody they resign because of health in Nigeria. Not like sorry, I did come. Sources familiar with the matter suggest that political tension within the party may have also played a role, in that step that he's taken. Allegations of financial impropriety and have also been linked to his resignation, with some party members reportedly protesting excessive financial demands imposed by the office. Now, what is the implication? Now, many think that Mr. Ganduje's resignation marks a significant shift in the APC's leadership, and stakeholders are eagerly awaiting further clarifications on circumstances. Now, the APC is yet to issue any official statement in that regard, but a lot of other people are also saying that it is possible that Ganduje resigned to make way for Kwankwaso to be the vice president of Nigeria. If you recall that it's been in the kumkum. It's no longer news, as a matter of fact, that Shettima may not be Tinubu's vice presidential candidate or vice president in 2027. And as we hear now, we hear say, it be like say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the icon so that gossip don't come out since say the icon so especially because of the kind of clout we can also gather for North Kano State precisely. Say Ingo need Kano State for him to fit win the 2027 election. With all this kind thing what they do. Meanwhile, Kwankwaso on the other hand will be thinking saying go join the coalition. Now we Kwankwaso no go dey the coalition. He don't carry that in almost 2 million or 3 million, depending on the number of votes. Then go say Kano gets this time around. He don't carry another go give Tinubu. If this is true, what's in the thing mean for the election when they come up for 2027? Because that's what all the politicians talk about now. I can't hear you. I think you're muted. I can't hear you. Very well.
Right.
Crystal
Can you
clear.
hear me
Thank you,
now?
sir.
Right. Okay. So I'm very happy
Thank
to
you,
be
sir.
here again, and we talk about the nation's political journey and all the theatrics
I am
that
glad. I am glad you did not call it the
that
nation's
is going on.
travail. I was hoping you don't say that. So I'm glad you didn't say that. At least.
I mean,
Okay.
all the theatrics that is going on, the political games
Yeah.
is pretty much on. But unfortunately, you know, um, politics started on
Mm.
time this period. Normally, for a country that is serious, 2 years into a 4-year term, nobody is supposed to be talking about politics. Do you understand? I mean, seriously, like the way we're doing it, because as we speak, politicians have seriously engaged in um, politicking, almost campaigning. You understand? Political discussions have, taken over the space. The whole place is all about politics. It's all about trading. It's all about aligning, misaligning. It's all about looking at the best house to actually move in, and that impedes the importance of governance. The people are the ones losing, unfortunately. I really don't know how Nigerians, would fare in the way things are going. But let's go into
Okay,
the
sir.
politics proper. I had to give this background because I know what people are going through in the country. They voted people in to go and take care of their own business at the level of governance. But the people they voted in have clearly abandoned them, and then they are doing something else, and it looks like a joke. The people's faith are hanging. So if we have to go into politics the way it is, this is
Okay,
Nigeria.
sir.
Okay, we've seen how the level at which politicians from different alignments are playing the game. Now, APC had come in, they are playing it differently. Now, President Bola Tinubu is to do second term. He's looking at 2027. How he came in into the first term, he's looked at the whole thing. He cannot play the same game the same way. So he had to do something different. Because, I mean, people would ask, what did Shettima do? You understand? For a layman, Shettima didn't do anything. Shettima had been a very humble person, loyalist to the core, who goes and attends to messages that he's been
Yeah,
given.
the way you put the
And
messages,
I
it's an
mean, for
errand
a
boy. No.
layman, yeah, that's what he's expected now. They send him anywhere, they send him, he
Anyway,
goes, right? And then people were like, what has it done? I said, look, in politics, you don't need to commit anything
before you're
before the
excused.
hammer hits you. Do you understand? Exactly. So people who don't understand politics, more so the way we play it here in Nigeria, okay, might be more either sentimental or emotional about it. I said, no, it doesn't go that way. Okay, so him have been used at the time. I remember during uh, Bola Tinubu's emergence as a president in
Mhm.
2023. It was Shettima's Medjugorje in the northeast that gave him victory over there. You understand? I mean, a few of those states like
Mm.
Taraba, Adamawa, and all of that were all owned by
And the
PDP.
Meduguri State, sorry,
So
the Borno State governor is not happy about it. In fact, he was the one that staged the walkout.
exactly,
The last Northeast summit, APC summit they held.
absolutely. So, but if you look at Bola Tinubu's, how will I put it? Should I use the word trajectory, right? If you look at his own political trajectory, you find out that even in Lagos here, he never um, he never allowed deputies to even do more than one term. Let alone even sometimes the governors, he didn't even want them to do more than one term. So that has been his style. Use your one term and then try to see how he can rejig the whole thing and then look at where it's advantageous to him to use another person. Do you understand? And then now that second term is knocking, he has looked at what brought him into his first term, and now second term, it's not going to be easy. It's really not going to be easy. So he needs, I feel that in all of these permutations as to why Ganduje resigned, right, or asked to resign, it's all because Ganduje has played his own role when it mattered.
So he's not
Right
needed
now, they
anymore.
need a stronger hand.
So
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
that's using and
They need a
dumping.
stronger hand. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's very common in Nigerian politics, and there's no apology to that. And like you said, in all of those permutations as to why he resigned, because we're all speculating, trying to look at what kind of pressure did he feel that will make him to say, you know what, or not even him saying that will force him to resign. Because if they allow him to say resign by yourself, there's no amount of pressure that will make him to resign, because politics is a job for an average Nigerian politician. It's their mainstay. So they don't leave except the pressure is too much for him to like go. Like it's important that you leave, because if you don't leave, your principal might not make it. So you have to go. Don't stand in the way. Do you understand? And you can see that the shock that happened in the secretariat of APC to say, look, this man is going. They didn't even quite it didn't come to them. It came to them as a shock. Let me put it that way. They didn't know. When they saw them moving his personal belongings from his office out of that building, they were shocked. So if you look at those things, so you can only imagine the level of pressure. And when he finally caved in, now I feel like the only plausible reason could be that of Kwankwaso coming into, because of the Kwankwasia movement, how many people he controls, how many voters.
But the thing is that the Kwankwasia movement, how many voters, does it really make any difference? Because I mean, Kwankwaso just scored a little above 1 million votes in Kano State, and he won only Kano State.
Good.
So we're talking about presidential election.
Good.
So,
he won only Kano State, and you also remember
State, he's upsetting them because almost all the who is in Borno State now are angry with him. Ndume is not happy with him. The governor is likely not happy with him. Shettima may not be happy with him. So would you rather lose one northern state to win one northern state? And when you cannot even get more than 2 million in Kano State,
the point remains that in our electoral system, right, there are 4 swing states that you must win if you want to become a president. Remember, he didn't win 3 in the last election. It was only River State. Exactly. So it was only reversed. That's why Wike is like the emperor, if you like, very important personality. You understand? He made that happen for him, because I mean, how could you have lost Lagos? You lost Kano, you lost Abuja. There's no other person that could have lost these 3 important states and still become president. It's not possible. But all of that went. So he didn't want to, take anything for granted. Kano is very important to him. And Kano assumed to have very large voting capacity, right? If Kano is declared, if he's declared winner in Kano, the number there will be massive either way. So Kwankwaso, has that, he's quite formidable up till tomorrow. And if you look at this whole, what could be possible, what could be possible going forward, Kwankwaso, nobody can, sideline him. So I think it's quite plausible that Kwankwaso want to come into APC to replace, because Kwankwaso couldn't come in as a vice president while someone from Kano State in the name of Ganduje becomes the chairman, and that's why it has to now go to the North Central, who they've been clamoring for that. Absolutely. To say, look, it's almost like, look, we have this position before it was given to. Exactly, before it was given to. So because when when Ganduje came in, when they declared him chairman of the party, the North Central caucus of the party were not happy. I mean, the political, the political stakeholders, all right, in that North Central, they were not happy at all, and they couldn't stop talking. So now, if the chairmanship comes to them, as they've been clamoring for it, it makes sense that somebody from Kano, which is Kwankwaso, would have to maybe become the vice president that we've all been painting, because nobody knows who Bola Tinubu is gonna choose. Let's watch and see.
Say, you talk, see people we voted into power. Say, no be vote to vote them. Say they snatch and grab them.
Well, that one, American court will determine that one, but now vote you
vote. Okay, now vote you vote for them. All right, let me quickly bring in Prince Francis Chilaka.
Now vote you vote. What happened? You don't concern me.
Prince Francis Chilaka, I want to jump in on this very quickly. Before I go to that video, I want to show 2 of you. Bro. Welcome, sir.
Proud of me, now.
I agree to you, man.
You know, the funny thing is Nigerians are very shallow-minded. And Nigerians don't try to think out of the box. A lot of Nigerians are not critical thinkers. And why do I say that? This whole permutation of his resignation or removal or sacking, it didn't start today. It wasn't like an emergency. It's been there. It's just that people have not looked beyond what they see. When he was appointed as the chairman of one of the this thing under the aviation, and one of the parastatals under the aviation ministry. Yes. So it was, first of all, that was the plan, you know, that is stage one of the plan. The stage two of the plan is that when the president started holding briefs and meetings with Kwankwaso, a lot of us knew that something was, you know, something was cooking. I said it, I remember I've said it several that you cannot have Kwankwaso join APC when Ganduje is a chairman. Not because there's a problem, but because between the two of them, there's a big rift. There's a big rift between the two of them. And then, if you bring Kwankwaso into APC with Ganduje as a chairman, who will control the structure of the party in the state?
So Organo Vex, make I answer one question, or make I ask you one question. You know, see, our president na Jagaban of politics. You know, sorry, sir. No, make I just talk one more thing. One more thing, sir, no vex. But you see the way he don't reconcile two people we know from a political party.
He did not reconcile anybody. It is your president and we that created the problem. Listen, they created the problem that they are resolving.
So
it is politics. There is no
to reconcile Ganduje and Kwankwaso.
Wait, precious. There was no problem in the first place. There was no problem. If there was a problem, and if the president wanted to reconcile that problem, which he saw that was a problem, declaration of state of emergency would have been the last option. They declared a state of emergency was declared in order to be able to capture the state and nothing else. Since they declared a state of emergency, tell me, what has Abbas been doing? He has been sacking and employing people he believes that are loyal to who? To Wike. In other words, he has done his homework. He has done the groundwork. What played out in Rivers State is akin to what happened in Lagos. The only difference is that of Lagos, there was no declaration of state of emergency. You and I were here when a speaker who was on holiday was impeached by all the members, 37 or 28 or 37 members of the State House of Assembly. They impeached Obasa. Obasa was in US when he was impeached. And in US, he tweeted that I am still the speaker. And when he got back to Nigeria, he held a press conference saying he is still the speaker. And at the end of the day, between you and I, you think there was a problem, or you think that all that shenanigans, President Bola Tinubu didn't get a wind of it. So when people play into his hands, that is when you say he's a strategist. It's not a strategist. Monkey, they're clever because three close by. If you separate the three, you go not say Monkey, no, they're clever. And that's the truth. So this whole issue of Ganduje is simple. President Bola Tinubu needs Kwankwaso, because already he knows that the whole North, if not all, at least 60–70% of the North is saying, we are tired of this government. You heard a senator saying it on the National Assembly the other day, on the floor of the National Assembly, that this government is not giving anybody any breathing space. That the people are upset and the people don't want to welcome this government anymore. So the more
signed tax reform bill now, so people will not relax. That's what they said.
Relax now. Leave tax reform. Okay. You know, you don't sign tax reform. The implementation after Nigerians don't know it, they don't enter. The president said subsidy is gone. Have Nigerians recovered from it? And they asked you, Precious, have Nigerians recovered from it? So the point is this, Ganduje, you need to understand how the structure of a political party works. If you have a governor in the state, the governor of that state automatically is the leader of the party in that state. The structure belongs to him. But you will agree with me that in Lagos, for instance, everyone that has been a governor, right from Fashola to Ambode to your present governor, they don't have a structure. As long as you're a governor in Lagos State, you have no structure. Now, coming to what happened in Lagos, we're still going to go back to Port Harcourt. The settlement that was agreed in Lagos, what was the terms of settlement? It was simple. Oga Fashola, go and face governance, leave structure. Speaker, go and do speakership, leave structure. So you find out that you just have people doing errand boys. The reason why you see Wike is fighting every tooth and nail in Rivers State is because he wants to control the structure of the party. And like I said to you before, whatever settlement they're doing, if that settlement entails for Fubara to join APC, if he joins APC, Wike will lose out completely. Because automatically the structure of the party in the state will be handed over to him. So that is why, as at what we hear, is that, oh, go and do governance. Now, bringing it to our friend, our former chairman, whether he resigned, whether he was kicked out, that's his business. But the truth is that you cannot have two leaders or two captains in a boat, in a ship. You cannot. So one person had to go. And the only person that can go, because he has no, as far as I'm concerned, Ganduje has no political relevance in Kano. He has no structure. And that's the truth. He has no relevance. He has no structure. He has no relevancy. I am telling you. So the reason is that
Michibi Kamichi does not have relevance in River State. Is that what you're saying?
If you're talking of Ganduje, let me tell you, do you know that in Ganduje's own, there are sins that people are in Kano hate him for? First of all was the fact that he decimated the ownership. Are you aware of that?
Okay, but it doesn't have anything to do with putting her in his pocket, Sha.
Wait, no. That's Nagandola. This one Naganduje. So we're talking of Ganduje. But we know that Ganduje and Gandola, the name they familiar, they're similar. Now, the point I'm trying to make to you is that
Cybercrime Act now, they say that they use and they pick people up and that.
But yeah, I mean, they don't pick me now. What I do them? What I'm saying is that now him will see for video. Will not be me they see. Now news media right now, not be me right now. The name itself not me give a name.
I like you to wrap up quick because there's a video I want to show you and I want to connect to react to that video before you leave.
Calm down. What I'm trying to say now is that if we come to Kano, the people in Kano don't have regards and respect for Ganduje. And so, if anybody that is powerful, that has a structure, that commands followership in Kano, needs to come into APC, Ganduje has to give way. And that's what has happened.
So what is
so he has been sacrificed. He has been sacrificed for 2027. Let him go sit down for fun.
Yeah. All right. Now you mentioned River State in your conversation. So, Mr. Let me take you on this. I know you have to run. So I'll play a video about River State, and I'd like to take a sincere and honest reaction. So there was a bit of an opera, or row before the floor of the Senate, whilst they were trying to, I think, appoint the River State Electoral Commission heads and members. And somebody like Ndume, we're supposed to be the member of the party, come out, can't talk a lot of things. Strong words, 9 years. Maybe come the one that say, you not be the member of this party, what would they do? Why are they against us? I won't make you see, and they make you also see other people's reaction and tell us the implication of this, because in this video, Ndume is stating that the reason why he's saying this is for the records and for posterity to judge him in future. Let's quickly take a listen to it, please.
Let it be on record that I, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, I'm not against the appointment of whoever you recommended, but under the current circumstance and the fact that if today you want to interview 100 or even 1,000 qualified people for this position from Rivers, you will get it to choose from. Federal character, section 14.3, reflects that. And as he rightly said, we should not, as a Senate, just approve or think that what is being done is not against the Constitution. We are supposed to be guided by more than Constitution. We are supposed to be guided by the conscience. We are the highest decision-making body in this country politically. Please, please, I beg you in the name of God, because the history will be there. If there is nobody appropriately, if the argument you are giving me now is that you want to get somebody out of Rivers so that the person that will be in charge of this will be unbiased in any way, that is a different thing. But the people should be carried along. Thank you.
Chief Whip, the head of service of Abia State, as we speak, Mr. Benson, is from Edo State. And nobody's complaining about that, but it's pure politics. Because it's coming from APC. In Abia, head of service from Edo, who is talking about that? So please write on. Let's move the motion. Then we'll put the vote. When we come there, we'll put the authority to vote.
So as a Nigerian, there is no constitutional prohibition. As a Nigerian, you can take up appointment anywhere. We are not talking about morality or public policy or something. We are talking about the Constitution, which is the grand norm of the land. And we are bound by the Constitution. And we saw to uphold the Constitution, which is what we are doing.
This matter does not call for any form of grandstanding. It is a constitutional matter. For any and every appointment, Mr. President, made pursuant to this Constitution, we in the ad hoc committee were the first to examine this issue. He's from Cross River. For the record, out of the 7 nominees, 6 are from River State, the members. The chairmanship nominee from Cross River. And we said, you are eminently, eligible, you are qualified. But are you not disqualified by the virtue of the fact that you are not a resident or a registered voter in the state, in River State? And the nominee was very clear that there's no section of the Constitution that disqualifies him from holding that position. We did not stop there, sir. We put it on hold. We consulted. And by the following day, the committee receives decided cases by the judiciary. Now, this is why I'm saying there is no need for grandstanding. The courts have held that you don't have to be a registered voter in a particular state to be able to hold such an appointment.
Okay, so the bone of contention, as I know, now about the chairman of the resident electoral commission of River State, basically, that be the bone of contention. Now, Obot Ite Abbas, the sole administrator, is from Cross River State. Now they had to go pick a RESIGNS or head that is also from Cross River State. Now the Rivers people are complaining that if it's in other states, will they permit this? So far now, River State is the only state where you have a non-indigenous of the state as the head of the affairs of the state and a non-indigenous as the head of the electoral umpire of the state. That is the only state right now. And these senators, you can see the ones who are supporting it and the ones who are against it. In fact, the Deputy Senate Speaker, Deputy Senate Chairman, the President, also said that that after all, in Abia State, the head of service is not from the state, Abia State. Forgetting that that's an appointed position that the governor himself elected in the state gave approval for an appointment. But let's quickly take the
and you know that there were some eyebrows raised when he was appointed administrator. Now he has gone to pick a Cross River person again to become chairman of the electoral commission.
And I know the quality of people in River State. I do not see any logical reason
why a Rivers man will not chair this electoral commission.
I'm not against the appointment or whoever you recommended, but under the current circumstance and the fact that if today you want to interview 100 or even 1,000 qualified people for this position from Rivers, you will get it to choose.
Overseeing the implementation of the...
All right, okay. So I wanted us to, put a perspective to this so that people will understand.
We are good to go. We are here to uphold the Constitution. In fact, we even swore to uphold the Constitution.
After the debate, the Senate confirmed the number.
Ekpali Odi, PhD.
So bottom line, they voted and they confirmed all of the people that they had interviewed. Now, what is the implication of this? I'd like a reaction, Mr. Kenobi. Very quickly, sir.
Okay, so in line with what we've been talking about, right? This whole alignment, appointment here, appointment there, everything is all politics. And you can see that what has been on in River State, it's all in a bit to Abbas is doing what he can to make sure that every decision benefits maybe one man, if you like. Because if it benefits Wike, it's very easy. I'm not making an allegation. We're just permutating. All right. Because I mean, if this kind of appointment cannot be seen anywhere in Nigeria, in all the states, if all the states have their regs as the indigenes of that state, then why is River State different? You understand? So I think that because Wike may believe that his own people can be trusted now, I mean, in a bid to look at how to 2027, victory will be assured, right? Mm-hmm. Part of this game is to be able to look at who may be able to handle whatever game that may be played. Because if you get
don't forget. Sorry for taking your chiming in quickly. Don't forget that there is a local government election slated for August next month in the state, and it is these people that they are appointing now that will conduct that election, and that election will mean that it will perhaps make room for people who would have the structure or hold of the structure of the local government.
Exactly. Like you said, this Abbas has gone to do the job that he's been asked to do. And you see this
the work of the Lord.
Yeah, this reconciliation for me, it's a case of the fact that look, the guy has gone to do what he was asked to do, and he did it so well that again, Fubara wanted power back. All right. And again, I started asking questions. I said, look, this guy, I didn't know why he had to do what he did, because when he started this fight, I said, look, this guy, you've made a mistake. There are certain people you don't fight. As far as Nigerian political system is concerned, there are certain people you don't fight. And Wike is one of them. That was a mistake he made. And I've been proven right, because all of that he did, people pushing him, try to nudge him on and all of that. He did all he could until he got to a level where he couldn't move again. Now he has become beggarly to the power that was given to him. If he had managed it well, maybe he wouldn't be in this kind of situation, because right now he's kind of begging. He had begged to get the power back. And now that it's about to be given to him, so you can imagine the kind of conditions given, to him. Now he's not in the pocket. They've been able to tie him hands and legs. I don't know how, but you just want to find a way to manage the remaining 2 years. That said, they've been able to all the structures that would ensure that River State, because by normal voting, I'm not sure people will want to vote APC. People never voted, even the last election in 2023, they never voted APC. This time around, that everywhere is so hard, people are hungry and all of that, I'm not sure that will happen. So they will use structure, they will use institutions to be able to guarantee, whatever victory they're going to have. And that's what I think. So Abbas appointing somebody from his own state, I'm sure some things have been worked out. So it's all been a bit to make sure that 2027 is guaranteed.
Thank you. So, Prince Francis Chilakasa, would you like to jump on that very quickly, sir?
You know why I'm laughing? I'm kind of just laughing at what's playing out in Rivers State. And why I'm laughing is the fact that, you know, the Rivers people have always claimed that they are not Igbos, that nobody should drag them to being referred to as Igbos. And then suddenly, the government has proven to them that you guys are just nowhere. You're nowhere in the calculation of this country. You guys don't matter. That's what they're telling the Rivers people right now. Because, first of all, you bring somebody from Cross River to rule over Rivers people, meaning that the Rivers people don't have anybody that is as educated as the people in Cross River. Going a step further, you're not going to look for somebody again from Cross River to become the chairman of your electoral body. It also means that you people don't have common sense. You people cannot conduct your elections. You people cannot take care of yourself. That is what it means. It's a slap on the face of Rivers people. And this slap, they should know. Let me tell you, what I expect Rivers people to do is to do what we call anger. Use anger to vote. And show that they are human beings. And show that there are people.
Uncle I, sorry.
Unfortunately,
Uncle I,
calm down. I know you're from Rivers. I know you're from Rivers. We don't nothing on the hide again. The likes of Asari Dokubo, the likes of all your militants when they make Calabar people don't subdue now. They don't carry you on match ground, match you now, press on the ground. And that is what you get when you have bad leaders, when you have people who have no respect for their ancestral home, when you have people who do not respect where they are from. So what you have is that the Rivers people have been sold for 1 kobo. And our value be that. But then, you know, looking at it again, I'm asking myself, why must it take Ndume to be the one to speak out against the injustice being done to the Rivers people? Where are your senators? Were they all sleeping? Have they all taken sleeping tablets? Are they not supposed to be the ones in the forefront? So where are they? It simply shows you that the people we have, most of the people we have in the National Assembly, it's not about the people, it's about their greed and their selfishness. Sure. For me, what has happened in Rivers, the 2 things that have happened in Rivers should make the Rivers people ensure that come 2027, there's a protest vote.
Okay, so you're saying, I wanted to ask you now, if you say protest vote and use anger to vote, I was going to ask you, they are saying that in 2023, they didn't even vote in the first place. They voted overwhelmingly for Labour Party, but we saw the result that came out. Now that they are now that was an election conducted by Buhari, or not them.
You know,
they are not the ones in power.
Precious, there's a poster circulating in the north. It says, rig and die. I'm sure you have come across it. 2027, you rig, you die.
Wait here, go feed you. Now, not Nigerians they talk. You rig, you die. Who will die the person? You rig, you die. Who will die it? Nobody will die.
You know what happened in 2023? You remember what happened in 2023 in Kano? Yeah. Let us pray that it doesn't spread in the entire country. You remember what happened in Kano? I shouldn't be telling you. But the truth is that no matter how perfect you think you are as a human being, you cannot be as perfect as God. You may take all precautions to ensure that something doesn't go wrong. But I can assure you that the minutest of what you don't know will go wrong. 2027 is still 2 years ahead. Anything can happen.
It's not the election is not up to 2 years ahead. Though. The election is not 2 years.
Within that period, anything can happen. A lot of us today may not even be around during that period to witness the elections.
Who would be this person who talk this one? Cross River State and River State are same person. Lie. You don't know. You did not study. Please, you push it tell him. You don't know your ethnic groups for Nigeria. Do you know the number of ethnic groups in River State? Do you know the number of ethnic groups?
They don't subdue. They don't subdue now. No, they talk too much. Rivers people more than go sleep. And sometimes say the line. I don't listen now. Not your brother. I started to football sing. Turn by turn. Oh, not this singer. Man, don't speak me of turn by turn now. He know if you sing again. The singing voice don't disappear. I beg you. Next base, second base.
That is Mr. Chilaka is shaming Rivers people. Now he's shaming us. That we cannot do more than a 10 round.
We don't just our own shape for Imo State. Number 4, then number 1. We don't just stand. But
we hear say on our governor they do very well. Somebody talking yesterday saying
we very well. And see, make them not let me face my governor. Make him I
say they don't stop unknown gunman for men for the state.
Make him make I did. We don't just stand for Imo State. Say in Imo State you can be number 4 and you'll be made number 1. We don't agree. But the thing is the good thing is that number 4 will become number 1. Now our indigenous. Now our state you come from. But on our own, then go higher expatriate. Go rule that.
So our own past number 4 will become number 1.
Oh my God.
I don't want to talk to Mr. Chilaka again today. I have been beaten and battered. My body they pain me. So I beg, tell me that truth.
As a consultant from abroad. Imagine from abroad now they get consultant when they govern now. No, don't get consultant. They don't don't time.
I beg that you say unknown government don't come up on the state. Now question one I want to ask.
Unknown, what do you know? Unknown. This is unknown. Unknown. How you take no? They know. How you take forgotten?
Have you forgotten that? Because wait, my brother, hold on. The land they got demolish for Lagos. Peter Obi family land that they demolish. They cut paper when they see they say unknown person. From unknown government to unknown person. Very soon they say when they hear unknown parents.
No, if not that one you hear, it's not possible. It's not true.
Yeah.
If you hear something like that,
no worry. Right. Maybe we'll bring you, we'll move you from Rivers. We'll adopt you for him.
Mr. Kenny, when you need to go, tell me. Mr. Chilaka will not let me let you talk. I said I don't want to talk to him again. He said I want to talk to him.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chilaka will not let me. Please.
Right.
You know that they gave some conditions. They said that there are some conditions that for which Fubara needs to meet for reconciliation to take place. And based on the meeting that they had last night, it was reported that for the reinstatement to be made, there are some, I think, 4 conditions. 1, Fubara will be reinstated to complete his 4-year tenure. Not be saying they go 2027, but must not seek a second term in 2027. So make him not even think about them because he need to go anywhere again. 2, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike would be allowed to nominate all the local government chairpersons across the 23 local government areas. So make it come out in hand for local governments. That's the structure. 4, Fubara was said to have agreed to pay all outstanding allowances and entitlements owed to the 27 lawmakers of the states. Yeah, the lawmakers were before now suspended. In addition of the above, the lawmakers will not initiate any impeachment proceedings against him for doing that. So, bottom line, he has succumbed. That's what it means. Does this mean anything? But let's quickly, sir, you want to react to that?
That's what I said. I said it in, when I was talking, I get a line, just one line sentence. He has not been, more like before, anybody can easily say, oh, he's been pocketed. Right now, he has found himself in a situation where he's been tied hands and legs and put in almost like a dog pound, right? Just lock him there and then you can control him the way you want. How can anybody look at a sitting governor and tell you you can't run, you don't have the right to run for second term? That's the most humiliating thing anyone can accept. But you see, if Fubara knows that what is happening now, or what is playing out now, if he had seen it ahead, he would not have started the fight. Because everybody is saying, look, why don't you be your own man? Well, you can't be your own man. I said it before. I said, look, when he got in there, how he got in there, he didn't know. And if he had listened to Payoshe, I remember the day he was inaugurated, Payoshe made that video went viral.
He said, don't fight with him.
Look, there are certain people There are certain people you don't need to fight. Wike is like a spirit. If he's fighting you, or if you initiate a fight with him, he will confirm that you're dead. Even when you die, he will not, not, if you know what I mean. Even when you die, he will not rest. He will ensure that he sees your carcass. See, Wike does not, Wike had, how will I put it down? More like put himself in the line of fire. More like he had dedicated his life to fighting. There is no fight Wike had fought before and he didn't win. And Wike doesn't fight any fight that he doesn't win.
But does he win them fairly? That's another question.
Whether it's fairly or not, see, use Niccolo Machiavelli. How you get into power, it doesn't matter how, just get the power. How he wins the fight is inconsequential. What matters is that he wins every fight he goes in. So, and that is what has made him, if you look at when you look at his age, somebody who's around 58, is looking 75 or 70. Do you understand? Is to let you know the kind of trouble, the kind of energy that he dissipates in fighting people if he wants to fight. You understand? So who has that kind of personality? Who has that kind of character? You don't go into fight with that kind of, except you have the same kind of energy. It has shown that Fubara made a very big mistake. He bought you from, he said it, he put you there. All the time he was doing campaign, he was the one doing campaign, and then each time he finishes in the crowd, he will raise Fubara's hand up. How Fubara got in there as a governor, he didn't do anything. Wike did all the things. Let's be fair, if you have to look at politics the way Nigerian politicians play it. And that's one reason why he looked at it and look, this is a guy, my boy that I made everything possible for him. How dare you come to challenge me, to tell me, oh, this thing we arranged? And that's why you see that people like Martin Amaule you can see that he is loyal. He would die with Wike and all those guys around him. They are very loyal to him because the arrangement, I guess, was, look, after Fubara, it will be this person, it will be this person, it will be this person. So everybody is in line to get their own opportunity. So why would you mess it up? That's why everybody was fighting him. And you can see now, he's come to realize that, look, those who were nudging him before to say, look, as a governor, if you're a governor, normally, constitutionally, you will become the head of the party. But you see, it doesn't happen in Nigeria anymore, except your godfather, whoever that put you there, is not as powerful as people like Wike. Then you can fight them and win. But if those people like the president, people like Wike and all of that, if you fight them, I don't know what will become of you.
No, I think it's a wrong narrative we're giving here.
No.
And I want to let me say this again.
No, when you say wrong narrative, like what?
You know, when Fubara started this war, I remember the first thing I said to him, I said, go and understudy what happened to Ambode in Lagos. If Fubara had applied wisdom, learning from what happened to Ambode, I'm telling you, he would have won this war.
He would not.
He would have.
Their cases are not the same. Fubara's case and Ambode's case, they are not the same. Do you understand? Ambode campaigned. Ambode was given a free hand. Bola Tinubu was not in Ambode's face, even though he was at the background. They never had the same kind of case. Don't even put two of them side by side. Fubara's own case was different, and this is the first time Wike planned a structure. Okay, when Jagaban did his own structure after 2007, it was a gamble. When the mainstream politicians like Pedro, Afiku Yomi, and the rest of them who were waiting on the sideline for Bola Tinubu to bless them, he went to choose somebody who people didn't quite know. But he was smart enough to choose Fashola. Fashola is CSO. And then Fashola didn't, as a humble person who was just a civil servant, he said, look, Oga, thank you for this opportunity. Okay? He was supposed to, if he knew anything about politics that time, he would have automatically become, of course, by constitution, he was the head of the party. But he humbly gave it to Jagaban to say, Oga, help me handle political affairs. Let me concentrate and administer Lagos. Do you understand? That mistake he made was what, gave rise to this structure you're talking about. It was like somebody who didn't quite know. Now, Wike planned with Fubara, Martin Amaule, and the rest of them in that line to say, look, after you is this person. After he put his own structure. This is his own. The first time Wike is putting out a structure, and his own. He didn't hide the fact that he even bought them forms. He said it openly. You know how he talks. I bought you form. You never spend a dime. He didn't just buy form. He even campaigned for them. After which you raise your hand up. So this guy was
So what we have in Rivers between Fubara and Wike is exactly what we had in Edo State.
This for too long. We have other stories to go to.
No, it's okay. I just had to make that. It was never the same anywhere.
No, it's the same thing we had in Edo State and Kogi State. Don't forget that in Edo State, when they were campaigning, it was Adams Oshimole.
Did Adams Oshimole buy form for? Hold on. Did Adams Oshimole buy form for the guy?
Well, that we cannot say.
No, that's what I'm saying now. That's not a structure. No. You can be a political godfather.
My own argument is that this whole idea of godfatherism needs to end. And I had expected.
Well, it will end. We're talking about Nigerian type politics.
I had expected that.
Forget the emotion about the fact that it has to end. It's not you and
I had expected that Fubara would have stood his ground.
There's no ground for him to stand. There is no ground for him to stand. I'm telling you. He doesn't have any ground. Which ground he gets? Zero ground. That's
you don't see the video where there was a press conference where Wike was addressing people. Fubara looked like somebody who was lost. The man looked like somebody who came from out of space, and somebody they just brought from Iceland.
That's what you get, because you know that, look, he never spent his money, even including the money to buy form. He didn't even buy form for himself. That's the problem. Somebody brought you from nowhere and put you.
Wait. Don't forget that former President Buhari did not buy form.
Oh, leave that one.
Can we let this rest, please?
Let's quickly move on. Go ahead.
No, just to pity Rivers people. We pity you now because a consultant on top of
you two, you want to do what?
What's your problem? What's the call of your problem with Rivers people? What exactly is the problem?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now I don't go do now. The president now don't talk say they go probe Wike because of the land we be singing his song. Why
that story.
Politics, sons go China. When William was going on official assignment to China, and he carried his two sons, and they were following him in a meeting. Did we not talk about it here? When your president will carry his son, Sheyi Tinubu, with him to every meeting he's going to abroad, we can do the same thing. So we now have a system where the fathers will carry their sons and put them in government and give them government largesse. So it's nothing new, please.
No, there's nothing new. Bola Tinubu is saying that because of the outcry, all right? It will die down. Don't worry about that. I mean, there's nothing.
It's not now. We're going to move forward, I beg.
All right, so moving on. So what is this thing about people who have worked with President Bola Tinubu always saying that they've worked with him, and all the while they work with him, they've never had to sit down with him, that he's excluded, like he's cocooned. I don't know the word to use now. Why is it like that? Because you see, Aliyu Audu, he's been saying this, he said this again, that he used to be senior special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on public affairs. His resolve, yes, to work against President Bola. He resigned though. He said he go work against him. He resigned.
So who be that Audu guy? Who be your guy?
Nah, former Audu, I think Kogi State former Audu son.
That's what I'm saying. Who be your guy?
You don't get a guy right now. No. So
no. Because all those assistants, when you say assistant to president on you get assistant to this, If you put everybody in line, waiting be number. Why was he now demanding when he no be buy or Nonuga? He no be even Boala. I'm not sure say Boala they see. I mean, Oga when they serve.
So how dare he want to see the Oga?
Well, nobody know this how waiting in the public affairs. Who know? And I want to see Oga.
I'm speaking because of every other person who has worked with the president recently. Most of them have come out to also say that.
The only three people that can see is what do you call what's that guy's name? Lere? What's that? Abi? The other three of them now, Bayo and Buala and Dare good. Those are the three people that are allowed to see the man. Every other public special assistant or whatever it is, you're on your own. They might not even have office. I remember when my uncle was a PA to governor. He don't even get office. Now my house
so my house operates as PA.
I tell you. So leave all those ones. Anybody went out of these three, anybody will not be these three. You can't see them. What do you want to see president for?
So is it that it has become normal now for people who work for the president?
No, it's an abnormality. But you see, you need to understand the kind of president you have.
I tell you, you
have a president that has a kitchen cabinet that came with him. Like people would say, the kitchen cabinet are people he came with from Lagos. And it is these people that are shielding the president from others.
Yes, now.
Yes, it is them. So you'll be SA or Marine. Then you go start top river.
No, but this the guy. Did he ever say anything or write anything? Well, of course, read. Say he's talking on behalf of Tinubu. The 2 years when he did there, did you know anything from him? I didn't read anything from him.
When my friend Kwankwaso, I noticed say they know the hear voice, He carry dollar and naira for him. Say if you buy $1, if you give you since that I don't hear him talk again.
So wait. So Mr. Francis, are you saying that Kwankwaso only use that dollar and naira so that he can trend a bit?
I didn't try that bragato, it didn't work. It keep quiet. After all, you forget Drotoye too was an SA also. Did you hear him talking one day? Did you hear? After he worked for 6 months without pay. See, the people went like the chess players that then on top table. Every other person is not consequential.
I agree.
All right, so let's speak to the tax reform bills. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, Taiwo Oyedele, is very excited. In fact, he's saying, why do fasting and prayer for him? Because in the pray, say, may these tax reform bills go through. So as president, not sign and Nigeria don't better. Nothing will do this country again because Nigeria don't good like this. As president, not sign these tax reform bills. I know we all know the content of the tax reform bills. So I'd like us to speak to it, and I think I'd have to start with you, Prince Francis Chinaka. What's the implication of this tax reform bills? A lot of people are excited that people of low income earners would not pay taxes; they're exempted from taxes, and that's a good news. And that people who earn higher would also pay higher taxes, up to 25% of their earnings. That is those who earn higher that we can trace their earning. So not everybody will earn higher. Where we know say they earn higher.
All right, don't go far.
What are the mechanisms to put in place to track all of this?
When you talk about paying of tax, how many Indians and Chinese where this country they pay tax?
Now they go pay now. Now could get this deal.
Okay, let me answer that. You will tell me how they will pay it. How many of their supermarkets do you see them carry money to the bank? Then I tell you one trick where you don't know now. You see all these shops when Indians get, they know they carry money go bank.
Where do they keep them?
As it is, gather the cash. Now so they carry the cash like that go market.
So it's not documented. It doesn't have a system.
You cannot trace it. You cannot trace it.
Wait.
That is what they've been doing.
But that's cheating. Can it happen in their country? That's cheating.
Cheating for your citizens. Do you know how they treat them like animals in their offices? In their factories? Have you been to their factories? Have you seen how they treat Nigerians? Yes. It will start from there. It's not about tax reform. The thing is that the tax reform, well, they don't tell us people earning below 800,000 naira, no go pay tax.
Per annum.
If you do the calculation, you find out, say, it means that now people, when they earn below minimum wage, because minimum wage now 70,000. By the time you multiply 70,000 by 12, it will give you past 800,000. So if they earn minimum wage, you go pay tax. So the question is, who are those earning below 60,000, 30,000? And gardeners. You know, go down, that's where they do where they work. Roadside. Say, may I can't tell you how much in the end. Don't forget also that there's another clause to it. And that's what people are waiting for. Most of the NDAs that are revenue generating, they're going to hands off. Like customs, NPA, the master, they're going to hands off. So now, the question will be, what would they be doing? Now, you see, it's one thing to have a good plan. It's another thing to watch out for the loophole. Now that corruption when they talk about will open up. Because people who have been handling these things in all these other parastatals, they must find a way to survive.
Because clearly, these people, their salaries, they even survive them in the first place. So how would they survive really outside their salaries? So,
now.
Customs officers, we know it's not be their salary, now they live by. Now the top things they don't stop this job.
No, I think they go move almost all the entire customs go border. They go move them go border. Then they go begin to catch Boko Haram and all those people. But you see, it's the question you and I should be asking is that in a country where there's hunger and there's poverty, is it tax reform we need badly? Or we need a reform that will add food on the table of the Nigerian people?
That's what the president said.
The energy, let me finish. The energy they have spent, that's the executive arm of government and the legislative arm of government. The energy they have expended on this tax reform. Do you know if they spend the same energy on curbing insecurity, Nigeria will be a better place? So why are you not thinking in that direction? If you spend that much energy on ensuring that there is production going on in this country, everything, every raw material in this country, from cocoa to sesame seed to cashew, everything is exported out of this country. Why is the government not thinking out of the box to say, good, these people that are buying these raw materials, they don't come and set up production line in Nigeria? Don't you think that will be something that would create the 1 million or 1,000 or 100 million employment we're looking for?
Okay. All right. But because we need to rush because of time, Mr. Kenobi, would you like to react to that, or you could just go straight to EFCC?
No. Let me just say a few things.
Well. Okay, sir.
A few things in line with what my brother has said here. The thing is, tax reform is good. I really like what has happened. But a few things I have a question for. It's all right to reform the tax system, because the tax system we had prior to this moment is really not it's not nice for any country that wants to develop. You understand? Because you see, people do business here, like you mentioned, some Chinese, some of those, foreign partners that are here, because of the kind of system we run that has a lot of corruption in it, right? These people have taken huge advantage of the system. You understand? You see them making billions and billions, and when it comes to remittance of taxes, they will go and hire one tax person or some accountant who knows about tax system, all right, to come and prepare their financial reports that would have a lot of things hidden inside. All right, a lot of things, their expenditures and income and everything, they will so manipulate it to a level where you see a company that is earning, let's say, more than 300-400 million a month. in a year, their income runs into billions. But when they want to pay tax to the government, they will so redact and remove a whole lot of things to a level where their payment to the government will not be more than between 10. In fact, even when they present it and government say pay like say 100 million, I have seen one guy who is an accountant who prepared documents, financial report for a particular Indian firm. They gave the company about 300 million to pay. The guy helped them to negotiate it down to about 100 million. They were so happy. When they paid the 100 million, they bought the guy. That time I was selling Prado, brand new, 8 million naira. They bought the guy a brand new Prado to say thank you for helping them, you know, knock off all of those money. So who is losing? Is the government.
At whose expense? That's what I'm saying. I was going to say
that's what I'm saying. But they made billions. The guy, even, like I said, even when he was supposed, they were supposed to pay like 300 mil, all right, 300 million. The guy helped them to negotiate downwards that they eventually paid 100 million naira. They couldn't believe it. So that's the way the system had been losing revenue from these foreign companies who are making so much money from here. Now, my quarrel is, if you want to widen the tax net and you want to include those, you know, people who you think are working, yet they are earning paltry sum, that's their take home can't even take them home, and you want to collect tax from them, that's where I have a problem. Because you see, this country, I don't even know which one we're practicing. Are we practicing capitalism? Are we practicing socialism? Are we mixing both? I don't even know which one we're doing, because you see, government, they've always been deceiving the people. When they are doing campaign, you will see somebody who will say, look, when I get into government, I'm going to create 500,000 jobs as a government. So if you are doing like that, if you're creating jobs as a government, that means we're not running capitalist system anymore. But you see, I know that our own system is unknown to economics. I don't even know. Anyhow, we make money, just make the money, loot it, and then just subject the people to hunger. Nobody cares about anything. Like he said, some people makes millions and billions in this country. They don't even have offices. They make that from, they have a room in their house where they press, you know, before you know it, some millions have entered into their account. They are not paying taxes. They are not paying nothing. You see them with Rolls Royce. You see them with all manner of exotic cars and all of that. But those who are earning 70, 80,000, 100, 200 are the ones that are being hounded to pay. Do you understand? So that's, the system is so not nice that if they can look into how people can benefit. For instance, my family lives in America, right? My wife works. If she pays tax, like she does pay tax, there is what we call tax return. Did they include tax return for individuals that pay tax, you know, in a year? For instance, if she pays, do you understand? Sometimes she gets over $10,000 back from the government every year. You understand what I'm saying? So these are how systems work, so that people that are paying taxes, they will see what they are using. You're using their tax money to do. All right, they will enjoy infrastructure, enjoy amenities, and all of that. At the end of the day, you will still give them some money back to let them know that, look, we have your money in trust. This is how we're using the money. This is part of it that should get to you, so that tomorrow they will be willing to pay. But when you collect taxes from people here, whether it's payee or whatever it is, for instance, we just talked about the fact that if you're earning, say, below 800,000, is it 80,000 or 800,000? Which one?
800,000 per annum.
So most employers, and I guarantee you, they will not let their workers know. That is, most employers will even hide this fact from their workers. They will still be collecting those taxes from them, but they won't remit it because government, I mean, it's not known by law, right? I mean, when they start, then they will be the one keeping the money, but they will continue. That's part of the corruption we're talking about. They will continue to collect the taxes from the same workers that are earning, you know, some kind of salaries that can't even take them home. So they should be able to look into it, create more jobs, because I said it, I said, look, if people have jobs and you're collecting taxes from them, it will make sense. Not for people who are working, their salaries can't even take them home, and then you're talking about. And then if we look at 800,000 in a year, that means we're talking about people who are earning less than 60,000. How does that put money in the pockets of Nigerians? Like Oyedele was saying, I don't even understand that logic, but let's see how it goes. When they start it, we will see the reality of what this policy means.
All right, sir. All right, thank you. So would you like to react very quickly to Yahaya Bello seeking to excuse himself out of the country because you know well?
It's the same story now, Shebi. That's the same thing we'll be hearing now. Everybody know where that. Okay, look at, they even mentioned, okay, in his own, the lawyer wrote that he has high blood pressure and he has one other minor stuff. That's, oh my goodness, any hospital here can take care of that. In fact, somebody even posed a question. I think they asked him the question of him saying that he built a world-class hospital in his own state during his own tenure. So why don't you use that? See, these guys are jokers, right? I don't. That shouldn't be a news. It's already what we know. The excuses that they always put in our faces. You know, if they grant him, it's one of those things that we know. But they should not. If you ask me, they should not. I'm sure.
Oh dear. I think network. I think network is bad again. Sincere apologies, Mr. Kene. Sincere apologies. I don't know if you can. Would you like to take it up from there? So I like to correct something with that report. The report for the tax reform bill is actually from 250,000 naira for per annum for monthly. So if you earn a monthly 250,000 naira and below, you would be tax exempted. It's not 800,000. Just to correct that. So just kindly pick up from there, sir. While we wait for
well, you're talking about Yahaya Bello.
Yes, sir.
And
you know well, sir.
Please, precious, please. Don't be defending these criminals.
It's okay.
These are people that have made this country, what it is today, where the citizens of this country cannot feed well, they cannot pay their children's school fees, they cannot even pay their rents. You remember a few years back when a former is it the MD of NNPC was brought to the Senate and he collapsed. They had to start looking for Coca-Cola and pure water to give to him, to the point that somebody started breathing inside his mouth or pushing air inside his mouth. Why is it that our political class, it's a question I want to ask them, why is it that after embezzling public funds and they're called to account, they fall sick? Why is it that they never fall sick when they're in power? Why is it that when they're in power, they don't see the need to use the funds they are embezzling to put hospitals that they would go to, so that when they fall sick, they'll go to that hospital and get treatment? Why is it that our leaders are wicked and selfish? All that they know about is primitive acquisition. Let them just acquire everything on this earth. I mean, I see what the likes of Dino Malaye does on social media, showcasing his cars. In a country where people are hungry, you're showcasing all manner of limousines. And these are people who say that they want to defend the masses. Which masses are they defending?
All right, sir. Okay, so
for me, Yahaya Bello's case is like pouring water inside the basket. The EFCC bundled the case from day one. You say you're looking for someone, the person comes, you allow the person to go. The next day you go and do razzmatazz that you're still looking for the person. Who are they fooling in this country? We're tired of all this nonsense our politicians are doing, and all this nonsense that people who say they're fighting corruption are doing. They're not fighting any corruption. You can't have a man you say has a case of 800 billion on his head, and you're saying you're having high blood pressure. need to have high blood pressure. Why am I not going abroad? Because I didn't steal money. So if anybody has high blood pressure leaves this country, do you think there will anybody left in this country? Every Nigerian lives it today has high blood pressure because of the tight economic situation we have in this country.
All right, so let's move to, since we're talking about money and loot right now. So I remember they say we define our 210 trillion naira. You understand? For inside NNPC. Now, and Senate don't tell them, say, make sure that they present themselves for probing. Then NNPC chairman and the new leadership now don't talk, say, oh, now our enemies, say that enemies, now they cause them, say that just saboteurs, and then they cause the problem. The Senate committee, what's that story? Just so that I have it correctly. So, bottom line, that's what they have said, that that's matter now because of enemies. So the leadership of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has blamed saboteurs for waves of campaigns of calumny against the state-owned oil firm. Now, this comes as a Senate on public accounts, as a Senate on public accounts yesterday, Thursday, gave NNPCL leadership, led by Group Chief Executive Officer Bayo Ojulari, a 10-day ultimatum to appear over the 210 trillion, not be million, no, trillion naira missing funds in the firm's audited accounts. Now, similarly, there have been concerns about the shutdown of the Port Harcourt refinery on May 24, 2025, months after it was rehabilitated and billions of dollars spent on the rehabilitation. Reacting to the statement on Friday, Ojulari, the head of NNPCL, said that it has uncovered an emerging campaign of calumny being waged against it by what it described as a syndicate. According to the NNPCL, the saboteurs are working to discredit the firm's leadership and distract the organization from transforming into a corruption-free entity in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision. They talk a lot of things. So they say that people need to make cause this will make them won't prove them. So
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is a country where
did you see the money where they involved? 610, 210 trillion.
That snake swallowed money. Have you forgotten? This is a country where snakes swallowed money, and nothing came out of it. Lion, even donkey swallowed money in this country. So you have a country where people do all sorts of documents. People do all sorts of things, and they find excuses. Suddenly, saboteurs. People are trying to sabotage NNPCL. Is that not laughable? The people that are trying to sabotage you, how did they gain access into your financial records? When you say they're trying to sabotage, are you saying that it is those saboteurs that took the money? Or are you saying that it is the saboteurs that inflated the figure that we are looking for? You know, sometimes some of these people, when they talk, they think Nigerians are stupid. They think they're talking to non-entities. You saw a video where they say somebody in a classmate. Nigerians don't go open everywhere. They look for the classmate. Until now, they never see the classmate. So these are the issues when you have leaders who are not being sincere. If you believe that people are sabotaging you by saying that you have stolen money, why not prove them wrong? Why not go to the National Assembly and tell the senators that now saboteurs, now they write this report, or that the people who audited the account, they are part of the saboteurs? We have a big problem when it comes to accountability and transparency in public service.
Thank you, sir. All right, so let's move on very quickly to other issues. I would like you to touch on this then before we go to Speed Darlington's case, because I really want you to speak to that case. So Justice E.C. Winter of the High Court in Nairobi, Kenya, has declared the abduction, detention, and subsequent rendition of Nigeria of the Biafra, that is the leader of the Nigeria of the Biafra Nation agitator, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that's what they tagged it, as illegal and unlawful. Now, the judge held that the rendition carried out in June 2021 was a gross violation of the fundamental rights of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. So I'd like you to react to that. Now that the Kenyan court has declared that illegal, does it really make any difference? He's in
the Kenyans, their government and their court, they're very stupid.
Hey!
They are very, very stupid.
Wait.
A man was kidnapped from your country. This is how many years? Going to 3-4 years. And you're not telling us it is illegal. And you're awarding how many shillings of your currency that has no value. Is that what the man wants, or the man wants justice? Awarding a price on it or asking them to pay money, is that the justice? Injustice has been done to this man. His life has been shortened over time. He was drugged, he was, kidnapped and brought from Kenya to Nigeria. And it's taking you how many years to pass judgment? Are they not stupid? This is the problem with African leaders. That is why the likes of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso left ECOWAS. Because they don't have anything. They don't have anything to show to the people. You want to tell me now that if it's an American, they will wait this long to carry out this judgment? All they should have said is that they should have asked the Nigerian government or they should have asked the Kenyan government to compel the Nigerian government to bring him back to Kenya. And then if they want to do rendition, they should do that. But coming to what are they telling us this for now? Precious.
That money they awarded to him is about 119 million naira in Nigerian currency. So it's not a small money.
What is the value of that money considering the number of years this man has been held in incarceration? Is it money that is more important, or the fact that the man's freedom, everything has been denied him?
But they have
I've always maintained that anytime you are asking for peace without justice, that peace you seek for is peace of the graveyard. I thought before now the Kenyan government denied knowledge of, Nnamdi Kanu. You remember during the trial, the witness called by the DSS was telling us that he doesn't know how they brought him from Kenya to Nigeria. So you want to know the truth. With all this bragadoing is not what we want. What we want is the truth. The man was practically kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria. And this is what we know your former president for. One, you have forgotten he did it for Morodiko, but he was caught. You go to another country, you go and kidnap, and yet you are looking for kidnappers in Nigeria when the government is on its own supporting kidnapping. What do you mean? But that's what it is. Your politicians are busy stealing the country dry. You will not arrest them. Meanwhile, the DG of EFCC will come out and tell you, that these boys doing Yahoo Yahoo are now being used by politicians to siphon money. Who are these politicians? Why can't you arrest the politicians? We always leave the source of the problem and we're going for the surface. So anybody talking about, giving any judgment from Kenya is not, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add to the fact that this man's life, whether we like it or not, 2, 3, 4 years of his life has been wasted.
All right, so let me quickly let Nigerians know on the conversation very quickly. Reading it up, the court awarded the 10 million Kenyan shillings in compensatory damages against the Kenyan government for a role in the unlawful abduction and the rendition. That is, they say Kenyan government go pay this amount of money for playing that kind of role where on use release Nnamdi Kanu to Nigerian government, because they blamed Nigerian government. They also blamed the Kenyan government. They say both of them don't violate Nnamdi Kanu human rights, fundamental human rights. Now, Justice Waiter said, having considered the pleadings and arguments by parties of involved, the decisions rallied on the constitution and the law, I come to the following conclusions. First, that the government of Kenya violated the constitutions and Mr. Nnamdi Kanu's rights and fundamental freedoms. Two, having entered Kenya lawfully through the legal process, he was subject to the protection offered by the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and the government of Kenya had an obligation to uphold and protect the rights and fundamental freedoms for him. So, because he entered their country legally, they were supposed to protect him, but he didn't do that. Quoting the judge, he said, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu was, however, abducted, kept in solitary confinement, tortured, and denied food and medication, a breach of basic rights, the judge said. He was denied, humiliated, ridiculed, and held in contempt, and later forcibly removed from Kenya without following the law, in violation of his rights and fundamental freedoms, for which the government of Kenya is liable. So, based on the above conclusion, the court makes the following declaration and orders it considers appropriate. A declaration is hereby issued that the abduction of Mr. Wakenyi Nnamdi Kanu, holding him in incommunicado confinement, torturing him, and denying him food, water, medication, and the other basic necessities was a violation of his rights and fundamental freedoms. A declaration is hereby issued that the abduction and subsequent forcible removal of Nnamdi Kanu, as it were, with his full name, that's what they put him, to Nigeria was in violation of the laws of Kenya, his rights and fundamental freedoms, including freedom of movement, security of the person guaranteed by the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and therefore unconstitutional and illegal. Then talk a lot of things, and that's what they take end on. So that's about 19 million naira, and then grant them in compensation. That's a good amount of thousands of dollars to use compensate. And IPOB don't react to the matter. They don't talk, say, well, they don't extend their heartfelt appreciation to the Kenyan judiciary, especially Honorable Justice E.C. Mwai, to say, in stand well for justice. Say, as in speak well, waiting in to do well. In fact, quoting an excerpt of what they wrote, they said, we know and now that the world also must also acknowledge that Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime in Kenya. He entered Kenya lawfully as a British citizen. He was abducted in freedom, in broad daylight at Jomo Kenya International Airport by agents of Nigerian secret police in collision with rogue elements of the Kenyan security agencies, which is against the law. He was chained, tortured, denied medication, and eventually bundled onto a private jet and flown illegally to Abuja without any extradition hearing or judicial warrant. In fact, the indigenous people of Biafra don't talk a lot about the matter. I just make a drop on that. Mr. Kene Obi don't rejoin us back. I don't know whether you don't get time now to talk. Like I say, whether I go fear attend. Oh, Mr. Kene, network, no let him. You don't come out again. So thank you for jumping in on that. But let's quickly speak to this issue of Speed Darlington. Now, you remember the video he made? I cannot play that, where he said there was a young girl he slept till she's 15 years old because she was a virgin. She ruined his bed. Da 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 da. Remember that NAPTIP invited him because if she was 15, she was a minor, and that is a crime, right? NAPTIP invited him. I don't know if he eventually answered that call, but right now NAPTIP don't declare him wanted. So the National Agency of the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has declared controversial entertainer Darlington Okoye, better known as Speed Darlington, wanted over alleged offenses including rape, cyberbullying, and cyberstalking. The agency announced this via its official Instagram handle today, Friday. They said wanted by NAPTIP. Darlington Okoye, aka Speed Darlington, is wanted in connection with alleged offenses including rape, cyberbullying, and cyberstalking. Anyone with useful information on his whereabouts is urged to contact NAPTIP immediately, and they gave their fast line to contact him with. In case you have information, the number is 070 3000203. That's the number. So you can please help them out if you see him. Napton had earlier invited the musician for questioning following the claim of having sex with an underage child of 15 years old. I'd like you to react to this, sir. How should we not go?
I run a foundation.
Yes,
and we have been in the forefront of talking against child abuse, talking against rape, talking about molestation of the girl child, including the boy child, because these days a lot of boys have been sexually harassed.
Yes.
And it's really, really sad. I tell you this for free. It is really sad that it is adults who most times these younger people look up to as models that end up, abusing them and raping them. It feels so sad. And, there's nothing that can be as painful as a child being molested and raped, and then the person who carries out that act comes out to boast of it. That is so shameful. When that video was trending, I told some of my friends, I said, we haven't seen the end of it. I said that this guy has just dug his own grave. And that is what is happening now. Then he is not aware that some men of God are also, some have been sentenced to different prison terms, some corporate individuals, some ordinary people have been sentenced. So, why would you do something evil as that, and you're boastful about it? For me, it also calls to mind the mental state of Speed Darlington. We need to know whether that guy is normal or not.
He said he was catching.
He's not the only celebrity that wants to blow. And this whole idea of celebrities wanting to blow these days, they throw caution to the air. Every now they say a lot of crazy things on YouTube, on social media, just because they want to garner fellowship and followership. How do you want that girl to feel, knowing that you did something you're not supposed to do to her, and you're boasting about it? So it brings us back to the fact that parents need to be more cautious. Parents need to be more involved in the life of their children. I've always said this: if you can't take care of a child, there is no need holding on to that child. It's very, very important. Each time things go wrong in this country, the children are made collateral damage. And that's why we have a lot of absentee fathers. People who should be more responsible for their own children. They're not responsible. So most times, these days, men feel that, the only thing my daughter needs or my son needs is I'm paying his school fees and sending money to them. No, that's not what the child needs. Every child needs love. It is when you don't love your child enough and don't provide enough for your child that your child begins to look out. And moreover, this period we are in Nigeria today, where there is hunger, there is poverty, the children are exposed to a lot of evil. There are a lot of men who are preying on small children out there. I believe that NATIP is doing a good job. They should go out for everybody. Anyone that decides that, you want to satisfy yourself sexually, you go and look for a small girl, that person should be locked up. They should lock them up and throw away. They should even castrate them. Because you're ending up damaging that child's life. A few years back, I used to run a program with a friend of mine, called Boys Life Matters. And I went to some schools with her. If you hear what the boys in these schools are saying, you'll be shocked. You will start shedding tears. Not adults, people they look up to as their role models, what they're doing to them. A lot of people have turned children into their playthings. They have no regards for them. They just see them as commodity they must expend with. So for me, if he's found guilty, he should be given the maximum punishment to serve as deterrent for others.
Phone lines are open, Nigeria. Thank you very much for Francis Chilaka. Our phone lines are open. Let's start jumping in the conversation. So you can follow the link and join straight in the studio. We are ready to take your calls in the studio, or just join us live. Or you call the WhatsApp line 0817-029-4077. 0817-029-4077. Hello, good evening and welcome. Sir? Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Tony from Chicago.
Yes, I am from Chicago.
Yes, you're welcome, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I was calling you at the time Kano Obi was talking about Wike.
Mm-hmm.
He gave Wike unnecessary praises.
Let me bring Mr. Kenneth to the studio so that he will hear his accolades.
So what I'm saying about it that Wike is making noise and doing as if he knows everything. He's a superman. He's almighty because of Tinubu only. If not Tinubu, Fubara has flogged Wike down. I'll be honest to you. It's not because Tinubu is there. Because if not Tinubu, I don't think Wike will be in Nigeria by now. Because he has created a lot of enemies. He made an enemy by himself. All this noise is making up and down in Abuja because he's not Tinubu is there. If I borrow the word of Prince Julian, he said, monkey do wise because they're three in the Arab. Wike too strong because Tinubu there for him back. That's what I want to say. Because Wike, because if that Tinubu, remove Tinubu, who talk about Wike?
All right.
And for the history Wike has, for Nigeria people, they love history. Wike and Tinubu want to wake up today, no sign for anybody expected. What happened today? APC chairman resigned, which none of us here today know the reason. You guys are just saying.
But that has been brewing since now. That conversation of Ganduje has been brewing. But we know that more will still unfold. Yes, go ahead.
Do you think he's going on well with him? The Northerners are saying they have taken the sword, in fact, it's meant for them to swear with their Quran that Tinubu is not going to come back here. And Tinubu knows that. Go and get Kwankwaso will not give him that vote you need. Kwankwaso make noise before the vote. Even to be the vice president to Obi, he rejected it. Thinking he will make way before above Obi. What happened? Kwankwaso is only known in Kano. It's only in Kano. And if Tinubu tried to remove what's it called? Shettima, so I don't think you go that way with it because you have created a lot of enemy. All these new people. See what they're doing. I see they're in new position. That's what they're doing now. To tell you should remember what Kenneth was saying. That those people behind the coalition, none of us, it will shock Nigerians. Go and listen to what Kenneth. He said, these people you are seeing, they're not the people behind this coalition. And for what Ndume is saying, he attends a meeting of them, and he's waiting for them. All of them are waiting for that thing to happen. So you don't even know what's going on. No, I know he's not doing his own work well because he don't want to go that easily. He's not somebody that can go that easily. But Wike, if I disappointed in Fubara, because if it's me, give me 6 months, he has something doing before he enter police. Go down and rest. Why begging as if you're a woman? Now they give ultimatum, you don't need to vie for next. You just be there to take your salary. And if anything happens, yes, he'll come and catch you. Not them. I don't know why a man from a just side will be behaving like a chihuahua. Not even
Thank you. Let me let Mr. Kennedy respond.
Sorry, I'm not embarrassing River State people. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, no problem. It's okay, thank you. Mr. Kenobi, did you hear what he said? He said that you were giving Wike too much accolade. That Wike only appears smart or appears that he's won because he has the president's backing. That means he had to take the president for Wike to be able to fight Fubara. So that you were just giving him too much accolade.
Well,
which is perhaps not necessary.
You see, politics is about strategy, and if you plan your way and it works for you, right, then your power increases. Wike, planned his way during the campaign, everybody, when he formed the
G5.
G5, good. When he formed the G5, he was having meetings here and there. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing, but he looked at the whole thing to say, look, I've been fighting Atiku. Okay, where am I going to put my political basket where it can yield something. Like if I put in something there, it will stay. And then when he did all that calculation, and then he met the then Bola Tinubu, who is now president in France, met him at different places. They had meetings and everything. He was doing all that calculation. Today, he was able to remain in PDP while he worked for APC at the presidential level, and it worked for him. So you can imagine what is happening now. The power that he has, it's not like Wike just became powerful. Wike had been powerful. Wike had fought so many battles. When Buhari was there, Wike was the only governor from PDP that fought Buhari's government to a standstill. Wike had been fighting, and everybody will attest to that. So he didn't get his power from Bola Tinubu. He was only planned well, and it worked for him. Having said that, if Fubara was smart, knowing that this guy is in presidency, all right, and he helped the government, that is in power now to come to power, right? He would have known that this guy would maintain a very big power. Why fighting him? So the person that is not smart is Fubara. Fubara knows that, look, this guy is very important to this Bola Tinubu's administration, and anything he does, it will bounce back against him. So it's Fubara that is not smart. If I were him, I wouldn't fight Wike.
All right, sir.
Because Wike brought him into the office. He
All
made
right,
everything possible for him.
All right, sir.
I'm speaking based on the Nigerian political system and the way they run it.
Some people
may not be nice, but that's what it is.
Yeah, some people actually think that you're aiding and abating criminality by towing that direction or that.
I'm not aiding and abetting anything. I'm telling you the reality on ground. I don't like what UK is doing, but what can I do about it?
Thank you.
We're analyzing politics based on the way it is
I have people
here.
on the line, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, Nigerians, so this is the first time of joining us. We're going to click on the subscription button now. I beg. Yeah? Click.
Let them go on my page. I will withdraw all the consultants I've sent to Rivers State.
Now you carry come. I was going to tell them that. Just calm down now. Sorry, sir. No vex. No vex. Okay. So please follow. In fact, if you don't want to follow me again, then just go and follow Prince Francis Chena. I can make peace. As I am like this, I am Fubara. I don't have strength. You know we're cowards. So you not tell us we'll be coward. I don't get strength. I better go and follow him at the Naked Truth TV 01. Please follow him at the Naked Truth TV 01. And if you like, please follow us at this. Just click on the subscription button on this page. Please subscribe, like this post, and follow us like a village people. Don't mind Prince Francis Chilaka. Rivers people are not as bad as he's painting them. We're beautiful people. We're amazing people. Have you seen us? We like life. We like peace. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Baby, my dear sister.
Sir, welcome, sir. Go ahead. Remind us your names and where you come from.
I greet my big uncle, Prince Chilaka, and my senior brother, Ken Obi.
We greet you back.
We greet you back. Welcome.
You're welcome. We greet you.
Actually, and I'll be brief, Although I just follow some stuff, Ganduje. Let me tell you something. That's my own opinion. You see, our dear president, they clean up in table against 2027. Ganduje will come and say, I saw that online. We say in America, America resign. Absolutely. In fact, I don't even know the word I could use. That big fat lie. The man, look, if the man just see anything, say fishy, you are going on. You don't say not now. I mean, not is somehow now against him. So the man is clean. They clean in table. Anything suspicious now to just ask you to resign and bring in somebody else.
You think Ganduje is an ally that he will want to do away with? No, now. You don't understand. You don't understand the relationship between Ganduje and the president. Have you seen Ganduje's son and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talk?
Oh, of course, I've seen it. When they talk to Tinubu, say make accommodate him in his the new private jet. Yeah, we've seen that.
Not be just that. They share a very close relationship. That's what I'm telling you. That. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then number two, the river owner. You say I say don't play. Say the people are pity for. Now the river people are pity for. Fubara don't sell river people to Wiki. That is just the truth. If he had continued that fight, he doesn't continue with that fight. The river people, I mean, I can assure you 95% of the river people are behind Fubara. It's now clear that the politicians, all they care is about themselves and their family and their pockets. Nothing else, nothing more. They don't care about the river people. The river people now will be disappointed, and I feel so sorry for them. You know? I rest my case, my dear sister. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Ouch. Ms. Francis Chilaka, what were you laughing when they were saying it's not fair? There's God. There's God in everything we do. All right. So who do I bring into Mr. T.Y. Danjume. Mark, I pick this caller. They come to pick your call, Mr. T.Y. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening. Welcome.
Yes, please. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Lawrence.
And where are you joining us from?
From Toronto, Canada.
All right, so go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just wanted to, listening to your guests, give a number of good breakdowns regarding our special country. But I wanted to ask him, there are a number of things pending with this so-called truce that has been brokered between the parties.
Okay.
What happens to the case that was filed by PDP with the courts? Because this is clearly unconstitutional. And then two, what also happens with this slippery slope that Asiwaju has created? And then finally, does he think there's a realistic chance of people rallying behind someone like Obi to remove Tinubu in 27?
Which of the slippery slopes are you talking about now? Just to be clear.
Well, suspension of a sitting elected governor.
He has that same. Now he create the slippery slope. Now he does cement and back now. He has made peace now.
But personally, the thing is here. Tomorrow, if one guy enter from Katsina and become our president, then he talks say political turmoil, they Lagos or Osun, remove that governor, suspend him. No one can cry foul. That is the slippery slope. Because at the end of the day, what has happened now is Tinubu has set the precedent of suspending an elected official. He has no right to do that. No power whatsoever. And then because of this truce now, we didn't give the court a chance to decide that this was unconstitutional.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Please,
so your first, Prince Francis Chilaka, the first question was on the case of River State before the Supreme Court that the court has not yet attended to. I don't know whether it's a bit
which court got attended to them now? Which court? The case got dragged until 2027. The case got dragged until 2027.
They don't reconcile now. PDP go
now that they are reconciled, they will not tell Fubara to go and withdraw every case he has, and the guy will do like Mugu, go withdraw. That was what he did in the first time.
He's not the one that filed the case in the first place. It was PDP that filed the case, so he can't withdraw the case.
It doesn't matter who filed it. At the end of the day, PDP will file them. Not be some of the governors don't come go APC.
Okay, like Delta State with the camp contacts made them come out for the case, saying no follow.
Good. So don't forget that even the ones where Fubara filed, he did not go and withdraw them. See, look, Rivers people, I don't make big mistake.
Thank you, sir. They don't answer your question. Thank you, sir. Prince Francis still like I want to start insulting my village people. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's okay, sir. No problem. T.Y. Danjuma, come to my rescue. Where is my T.Y.? Okay. Mr. T.Y.
Precious, how you doing?
Camera, Joe. Let's see your face, T.Y. Danjuma. Turn on your camera.
Okay, I go put that. I go put that. You don't see me, so. Okay. You don't see me. You don't see us. You don't see us. Our rich. How you doing?
I don't go there for blackouts for down like that. You know, goodness. So I make us. Welcome.
Greetings, Precious, and greetings, Prince, and
good evening, my brother.
Yes, Prince, I get one small advice for you. I get one small advice for you. You see, you have to take it easy, otherwise, gray hair with your hair go multiply. Concerning this Nigeria.
My brother, I know when you see a state in Nigeria, suddenly you have consultants. You have expatriates from another state governing them. You're gonna give you bad belly now.
So now only River State can
I agree.
increase your gray hair like this.
I agree. In fact, I carry trouble come for River State today because I agree 100% with everything where you talk. There is something very unique about River State. Very, very unique. In fact, I won't even tell Precious make it come out there, make it begin come Delta or come go
You don't
another
need to
place
come out
because that
now. Don't
place.
mind that. She did there. That made they put consultant for her head join.
No. I define maybe Anambra State or another place now go now. No, they come. I'm not coming to any of these
Okay,
places you're telling me to come
good.
to. Let her go.
You see,
Let
one
her
of the
go where
things
we get
about
channel with the
is
center.
one.
It's okay.
Okay. If you come join us, they could they give you tithe they pay from oil world where we get. As you don't give me oil well plenty.
Go ahead.
You see the thing about River State. Amechi worked against his party PDP and sold out. You know, you get a group of governors where in sell out, go give against his brother Jonathan and sold out to APC. When Wike come, he copied the same thing. He get a group of governors, go sell out to the same APC. Fubara don't come again. He's doing the same thing. So River State is very, very unique. It's a place where you have political saboteurs ready-made, waiting to be used.
Thank you for that.
So it's not new what is happening. I mean, there's history. So not be waiting where and you see when Adebayo come talk here a few days ago, he talk say when it comes to playing politics, say Tinubu get A1. But when it comes to governance, he give an F9. In fact, he give an F9. You remember when I asked Professor Dunkalu, say, what you go give Tinubu? He say F9. I asked him whether person will fail, they repeat. Can you ask him to repeat? He say, no, now withdraw. So the thing where would they see? The thing where would they see here? Tinubu I no agree with it. Can they say Tinubu no know what they do? Tinubu na grandmaster. If you know what it took him to resist the onslaught and the machination of Obasanjo to keep Lagos, if you know, I know a little bit of what happened. You will not say that man, not the only wizard, now he be the witch, everything combined together. So what they do now is very, very clear. They use everything. If he has to go to church, make father pray for her, he go. If he go Babalawo, he go. If he go Imam, he go. All of them mixed together.
So now combined service.
Now combined service. So you don't expect him to sit down and be watching opposition. They regroup, they retool. He go sit down, they look. No, you can't do that one. So what did they do? He go use everything when he get. Those way if he steal, he steal. Those way if he force, he force. Those way if he flog, he flog. Those way if he use $, bring dollar, he go bring dollar. So if he use propaganda, he go use. So this is war. The opposition better wake up. All these are who they talk, say not do this or not do this. Or the man not sleeping. No. They are not underrate the man. No. You know they sleep. Oh. You know they sleep at all. That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much, Mr. T.Y. Danjuma. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you have something else to say? My people, we're gonna go follow Prince Francis Chilaka. Subscribe at to the Naked Truth TV 01. Also, kindly click on the subscription button here. Please ensure that you like this page, follow us like your village people, and like this particular post right now, and share it if you can, please, so that we can, spread the gospel of what we've said and what we're saying. All right, let me see if I can bring. There are quite a couple of other issues we'll have to talk about. The killing of about 20 soldiers in Niger State. Burutai don't they talk, say may they support military. Remember, say some military officials don't come tell us before, say when they kill them like that, say nothing they happen. And then say now then they even use their money sometimes straight to themselves. And then Ogari Badu don't they warn politicians for inside Anambra State and FCT elections. So may they be very careful so that they no go hit up quality and bring violence for inside the state. But let me take Ekene's parting shot. So while he wraps up with any of this, then I come back to you, sir. Mr. Ekene, sir. Mr. Ekene, can you hear us? All right, let me let him go. I think it's late, so he needs to retire. All right, go ahead, sir.
No, this whole thing about Nigerian politics is that we're forgetting the core reason why we have governance and the core reason why we have leaders. The first thing as a leader is to have a listening ear, is to be able to provide for the people, is to be able to protect the people. A leader is like a husband, is like a father. The first duty of a husband or a father is one, to protect his wife, to protect the children that come out of that marriage, to provide a roof over their head, to provide food for them, and to nurture them. But unfortunately, the people we have in Nigeria as politicians, come fathers, they don't understand anything. All they understand is acquisition of wealth. While they're acquiring this wealth, they forget their family members. They forget their children. They forget their wives. They forget their siblings. They forget everybody because they want everybody to wait for them while they go to acquire wealth, thinking that when they come back, those people will still be there. Most times when you come back, they're not there. They could have, something would have happened to them. They could have died. Somebody could have taken them away. Some of them would have run away on their own. So we need leaders with empathy, leaders who understand what leadership is, leaders who understand that they owe a responsibility to the people, to be accountable to the people. This is what is lacking in this country. Leaders that are not accountable, leaders that wake up from sleep. The man sleeps in the night. Maybe he had a quarrel with his wife in the morning, and he just comes to the office and he sacks everybody. That's how our leaders are behaving. They don't understand that you need to listen to the people. Ask the people, what do you want? Do you want borehole or do you want light? Do you want water or do you want good road? But no, for them, they're not interested in that. All your leaders are interested in is to say, hey, give them borehole. Maybe that borehole is not the need of the people at that time. And that is what is playing out in the entire country. We've been talking about, we talked about the tax reform bill and all of that. We've talked about subsidy is gone. But this is what the people need. You cannot be talking about tax reform and all of that when there is hunger in the land. A hungry man is an angry man. It's like a man who comes to you and says, oh, precious, I'm hungry. You're saying, God bless you. Which God will bless him? Where's the God going to come from to bless him? So that's the burn of contention. The burn of contention is that we don't still have leaders in this country. We simply have rulers.
All right. We don't have leaders. We simply have rulers. Mr. Kenobi, are you still here? Would you like to jump in on something? Your concluding thoughts. Mr. Kenessa?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Just if you can, in a few seconds.
Well, I mean, every time we talk about Nigeria seems to every minute keep turning out things to discuss. My problem is the fact that we've been talking about Nigeria's, myriads of problems, but none seem to. There are no solutions created by those in authority, because you see, the essence of government is to be able to solve problems. When these people come to campaign, they tell the people, if you put me there, if you give me the opportunity to get into the office, I will do X, Y, Z for you. Again, I've talked about that we're running seemingly representative government, but in reality, that's not what we're doing. And I think the people need to wake up. Nigerians have had enough information in their hands to be able to get up and take their destiny into their hands. God cannot, and God has never done it anywhere to rescue a country. When I mean systems that people use in a country are created by men. And therefore, when things go wrong in the system, it is same men, people that will come rise up against the people in authority to say demand for what is right to fix a country, and that's what our people are not doing. So until the people rises to demand for what is good, regardless of religious or ethnic background, religious affiliation, and all of that, if we know we have a country and we need to protect the country, then we should start talking in one voice. But at the moment, the people are divided along the lines of what doesn't make sense, only makes sense to the politicians. So the people need to, just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. This country cannot change without the people. I just believe that Nigeria will change in my lifetime. I just wish so.
Thank you.
Let's keep on talking and let's see what happens.
Thank you so much. We do believe it will change. Or it doesn't have a choice. It must change or it must change. No option. It's got to change in my own lifetime. I don't tire. Because since where I born, it be like saying from worst to bad. I be from bad to worse. 90 they get to every time. So it's got to change. There's no two ways about it. It's got to change. And I do hope that is the reason I had to take the bull by the horn to start this show, because it's not even convenient for me, to do what I'm doing. But I had to do it so that we keep drumming. Say sometimes people think that because of lack of awareness, not make it they happen. I wish Sagofi gets the resources to begin put bits of these shows for local radio and television stations. Make people they get the information of what they talk about so that they will know. So that when they get the awareness, then they will now be awakened to take the right decision. I appreciate you, Mr. Kenobi. Thank you so immensely. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for making our time.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Take care, okay? Have a nice weekend.
All right, bro. We're going to talk now. We're going to talk from behind. I need to appoint a consultant for you, so don't worry. You'll get one.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, man.
Bye. All right. Thank you, Prince Francis Chilak. I appreciate you. Thank you. Big deal for always obliging us whenever we call you. It's not easy. Your reward is on earth, it's not in heaven. I told you before now that
the kind of something I want. I don't want consultancy type. Yes, I don't want any appointment.
Which kind of result?
Of foreigner on top of my head.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you. People should follow him. Follow him at Prince Francis Chilaka, please. The Naked Truth 01 TV. The Naked Truth TV 01. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you again. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to this platform and also like and share, please. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our country, because when we stop to talk, maybe the last time we will begin dying. So we will continue to talk. One day it go better. I love you guys so much. See you tomorrow, God willing. I have an amazing guest coming up tomorrow. I will be talking about 2027, and he's an insider in 2027. So there is a lot that will be revealed in 2027. You know what? You're in for a shocker tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. It's going to be tomorrow evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening and have a great weekend. Good night and God bless you.